Alrighty, it's your boy Zxous, and today we're going to be talking about, it's your boy Zxous, and we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. But today we are going to be talking about ROSANNA and how to build her and prioritize her. Now, I don't have ROSANNA yet. It's not because, it's just because of school, really. I'm trying to figure out something for classes, and obviously I don't want to go and spend for this girl yet until I know the pricing of those classes, because that's more important at this point of time. So obviously, we're gonna have to wait. But if you do have a ROSANNA and you do not mind me using your account for a showcase today until I figure out when I'm going to spend for this character, then definitely let me know your Discord or your Twitter in the comments down below, and I'll have the showcases out today for this girl. Unfortunately, she's really just a PvP character, so there's not going to be many showcases on her in general on the channel, unfortunately. But you know, we could do our best, right? So let's talk about her skills and what to prioritize and stuff like that. Make sure you guys subscribe and like all that jazz. Now, her first skill, after landing 100 in normal attacks, remember, keyword is landing there, right? Not use, after landing. After she lands 120 normal attacks, she gains a concealment buff, which basically prevents her from being a target of single target attacks for 10 seconds. But she does lose this effect once she does get attacked by a rocket launcher, most likely, or any AoE ultimates, right? Effects activates after landing 10 normal attacks. 2 enemies with the highest attack will lose 5 buffs, and this is only once per battle. Now, this is a PvP based thing, at least the second part is PvP. ROSANNA's a PvP based character. I've seen people in my Discord say she's okay in PvE, but this is not, you're not summoning for this girl because you need a PvE character. Your only reason for summoning this girl is a PvP scene. That's it. You're only summoning for her for the PvP scene, realistically. Her second skill activates when I forgot to mention, you do get crit rate by 19.34% for 3 seconds as well after landing 120 normal attacks. The second skill activates when entering battle. She just has the concealment buff for 5 seconds, right, and loses it obviously when she takes damage. And then also when the Nikke is out of action, affects self frenzy equals up to or goes up by 22.61%. That stacks it for 10 times and lasts for 30 seconds, and also fills burst gauge by 36.54%. Now I think I said seconds here, 22.61%. Now this one, I'm so, like, I was so shocked because a lot of people in the comments were like, I don't know if this means your team or their team, but it's, how is it gonna, they were like, it's gonna only be your team, so how are you gonna stack up to 10? Chat, I thought like this was like just common sense, chat. No question, it's gonna be your team and their team. If it says it stacks up to 10, right? Now some of you probably wondering, oh, Zxous, if it's your team and their team, wouldn't it only go up to 8 because it would be her as one character and then the enemy over there as another character? Yes, but if I was to have a reviving character and they were to have a reviving character and they revived one of our characters, both are one characters, and both of those characters died again, that would equal up to 10 stacks, right? So it's quite simple, really. But on average, you are going to really only go up to 8 stacks if you're not reviving. But yeah, so keep that in mind. And then the burst skill, attacker enemy units deal 1.3k% of attack damage, and then if she's under the concealment buff, she deals an additional 561.6% of attack as additional damage. So she's good in PvP, right? She's gonna be good in PvP. Now, obviously there's some cheese strats for her. I'm still waiting to test that out myself or get some notice on it, but as of right now, she is going to be quite nasty in PvP, especially with that little cheese strat with the R characters. Now, it's not a full R team. You bring her burst 1 and burst 2, and then the other 2 characters out of the 5 would be R characters. They would die, then boom, you have your burst gauge. She will nuke, get rid of the attacker enemy. She gets guaranteed, because that burst skill guaranteed removes attacker enemies on top of the 44% you're gaining, because obviously they're dead, right? You get rid of them, boom, you attack, you kill them, then your burst 2 bursts, your burst 3 bursts, and you nuke. It's a pretty simple like that. It's not a full R team and her. It doesn't, right? So keep that in mind. But in terms of the skill order, you're probably going to want to go for that second skill first, then the burst skill second, and then that first skill last, right? So skill 2 as your priority, the burst skill as your second priority, skill 1 as your third priority. Only reason why is because the skill 1, you're only getting the crit rate, and the crit rate is big, but obviously the skill 2 and the burst 2, or the skill 2 and the burst skill just have more value, right? The burst skill guaranteed removes attackers from the game on PvP, which is great. Apparently that also works on PvE too, so that's not bad as well. But it just removes attackers in the game guaranteed in PvP, and then obviously the second skill is where your burst gauge and the attack buff is, and that's the most important thing about her kit, realistically. All right, so definitely go skill 2, burst skill, and then skill 1. In terms of her cube, I'm just gonna go to another character that I own. Right, in terms of her skill 2 or her cube, she's a machine gun. So the machine gun, you're gonna want to give her, since she is a machine gun, you're gonna want to give her the assault cube, right? She needs hit rate, especially since she has to land 120 normal attacks. Right, machine guns are not always going to land their shots, so the more hit rates they have, the more accuracy they get. So obviously the assault cube is going to be probably her best cube before overload gear. Now, if you do not have, or you're going to have the assault cube, but if you do not have enough and you don't want to run the assault cube on her, you can always run wingman as well, just for more bullets. You know, this is probably last option. Bastion cube as well. You can run those as well, but I would highly recommend the assault cube. Now, once they get overload gear, it's kind of the same thing as Modernia, realistically. What you're going to want to give her for the overload gear is you're going to want to give her max ammo capacity, increase hit rate, and attack. Increase attack. 1, 2, and 3, right? Increase hit rate guaranteed, increase max ammo capacity guaranteed, and then increase attack guaranteed. Just because she's a machine gun, and like I said, you want machine guns to have as many bullets as they need, especially since she needs to hit so much times. You don't really want her to reload as much, and if you are running her with Noir and you do have an insane amount of max ammo capacity, you might be in a situation where you might never have to reload. Realistically, and then obviously the hit rate, you're definitely gonna want hit rate, right? And then the attack is, you're definitely gonna want that for someone who just boosts up their attack, right? And then once you do give her the overload gear and you get those 3 effects, then your cube is going to guarantee want to be Bastion cube, most likely, just because of how much bullets you're going to be recovering back for every 10 rounds. With a machine gun, that's quite nasty, especially if you're gonna run her with Noir. With a machine gun, that's damn near broken. So definitely keep that in mind. So Rosanna, right? A very nice character in PvP. Like I said, I don't know if you guys hear that noise, but I believe there's construction happening outside. That sounds nasty though. Hold on. Alrighty, weird, but yeah. So literally, you're going to Okay, well, you're definitely going to want to give her that. In terms of her partners, Noir is going to be a good partner for her because of the burst skill thing, the full burst gauge, especially in PvP, right? It's going to be quite nice. Because you're not really going to go for a second rotation with burst skills, if you want me to be honest. So Noir is going to be a pretty good option with her. She's just a machine gun, really. So, and the DPS. So really anybody who's supporting her. Noir, Privity. Well, Privity is going to kind of hurt her, especially since she cuts down the bullets. But you're also going to have the reload speed, which is fine. And then the massive attack buff as well. So there's that. But just like Modernia, she's a DPS at the end of the day. So that's how you're just going to really want anybody who could support her in terms of damage. Right, but like I said, if you guys have Rosanna and you don't mind me using your account for the showcase, if you haven't done your PvP or anything, let me know in the comments down below. I'll add you on Discord or message you on Twitter or whatever, so I can get those showcases out, just because obviously we have classes and the due date is very soon. I just need to know the pricing. So yeah, it's your boy Zxous. Make sure you guys subscribe and like, and look at this fantastic wallpaper. Lord love, yo, she is the hottest girl in the game. We're gonna have a new profile picture and banner on the disc or on the channel, bro. Rosanna's she is so sexy. It's actually criminal. You cannot tell me when she looks up. Look, wait, look, when she looks like this, you cannot tell me no, she's the hottest girl in the game. I'm sorry. Nobody comes close to a woman like this. I'm sorry. Your best girl can never.